Hello everybody, Life on In here, and today we have our second episode of our Extinction Myths series. Now, I've had a lot of people actually sending me messages wanting me to do this video, which actually kind of surprised me a little bit because I still think that the grenade turret is pretty decent. In fact, I think the nerf was almost needed. It was really, the turret was only $1,000. And you got 30 grenades, and those 30 grenades could wipe out just about anything, and you would always make your money back. Now with the grenade turret nerf the way that it is, you actually have to kind of strategize with where you put it, and actually like have your allies covering you, and putting your grenade turrets in a certain degree angle of where you can see each other. And also, pretty much need either a sentry gun pointing towards you and covering your back, or you need an IMS behind you. Either or works quite well with this, but just whatever you do choose, just make sure you have some sort of actual strike package that can cover your back. Now, strike packages, the IMS is way cheaper than the automatic sentry gun, and personally that's what I would prefer to use if I'm using the grenade turret, because it's way cheaper, it's way more cost efficient, and in most maps the sentry gun is not very good. The sentry gun can die pretty easily, even with the sentry armor ability that you can get out of the armory. It's still it's a very squishy turret, I guess I should say. Now, in this gameplay you are seeing in the background, we are all using the pistol only relic, and we have upgraded our grenade turrets all the way. At least I'm pretty sure most of us have. Some of us might put more into sentry guns and IMSs, but as for what I did, I maxed out the grenade turret first, and I put at least 2 points into a sentry gun, because to me the sentry gun is worthless unless it has 2 points in it. I feel like it is. Now here, we were all just shooting at this thing with our grenade turrets, just unloading. And you can kind of tell that this is where the fire rate nerf really kind of comes into play, because it's pretty... it overheats really quickly. You can't really keep a constant stream of grenades out. And used to, we could take down these hives way quicker than you normally could. And with the grenade turrets, so I almost think that the grenade turrets have also been nerfed in their damage a little bit. But you see here, I'm having to get off the turret quite a lot just because I'm just starting to get hit in the back. And in this particular place, I don't have any teammates covering me. I started off on this side with teammates covering me, but then that's when the stupid scorpions started laying down their stupid scorpion juice, and I had to end up moving, giving up my logical position. So if you're going to use a grenade turret, then I would highly suggest being the medic class, because once you upgrade your medic to where you don't take the damage from the scorpion gas clouds, you can stay on your turret and just pound away at whatever there is. Now, like I said, sentry guns overheat extremely easily, so then it leaves your back kind of open to attack very soon and very quickly. Now, we did take the hive down. It is down now. Now I'm just trying to get things out, spend some more money. I think I start going to my medic, just because I want that perk. I want to be able to sit in the scorpion gas clouds, and I do not want to take any of the damage from it. Now here we had one of the guys just lure a rhino that spawns on the roof of the house to us, because we just wanted to see how effective these still were against the rhinos. So we set up most of our grenade turrets here, and we just start firing away. But once again, that grenade turret speed nerf is one of the best things that are just greatly affecting it. If I were to give a suggestion on how to use this with the terrible fire right now, I would highly suggest never letting it overheat. I would let the bar go down enough each time to be able to just shoot one grenade periodically before it overheats. I find that way I'm not just sitting there waiting for my turret to cool down, because the cooldown time on it is actually longer whenever you max out the cooldown on it. Now, in this part of it, we are setting up basically all our sentry guns and all our grenade turrets in this corner. And the reason for that is because, well, of course, corners make it where things cannot go behind you near as easily. So if you have everything you have in a corner, corners are pretty much the best places you can find to set up. As long as there's not like a fence behind you, like in this area right here, where, you know, seekers are going to come over that fence in that particular place. But if you can find a corner that nothing's going to spawn behind you on, that is probably the best strategic placement of grenade turrets that you can have. Now, for this particular hive, we ended up with the challenge of not using any abilities for 60 seconds. And that was, we just have to keep in mind that those are going to come up. And if they come up, it's better to have your sentry guns / grenade turrets already down before you ever even start to drill the hive. That way, no matter what, if that challenge comes up, you still have your grenade turret ready to rock and roll. And you're not going to fail the challenge because of it. Especially if you're running a pistols only relic and then you don't really put many points into your pistol. Now, unfortunately here, all of our teammates did not have their turrets put down. But they were just kind of standing out there as bait with their pistols. In fact, whenever they start to get attacked, it's when me and I believe it is Shibby that has his grenade turret up, that we can just shoot them with it. And I mean, then you have to never worry about them getting close enough to you to where the nerf is going to affect the actual use of the turret. Now, in this clip, I personally thought that, you know, I was being rather clever with my grenade turret placement up here. I was like, you know what, I can cover that back fence when those seekers come down, and, you know, maybe they can cover me from down there, and this is just going to be an awesome place for my sentry gun. And it turns out to be where it's not near as good as I was hoping it would be. In fact, I pretty much just abandoned it because that was not a strategic placement of the grenade turret. So once again, I stress, if you're going to use the grenade turrets like we are here, you have to have very, very strategic placements of where you put them.
Didn't say failed yet. Huh?
Now, once again, at this hive, we are pretty much putting all our stuff again in the corners, just so that, I mean, nothing's gonna come behind us that way. So I put my sentry gun, and I think it's my teammate's sentry gun there, beside each other, kind of overlooking where I would be getting attacked. And then I also have one of my teammates behind me with their grenade turret. So if anything does get behind me, I just know I have the faith in my teammates that they are going to kill whatever is hitting me in the back. Now, if you have untrustworthy allies, I would not suggest using this grenade turret, because you need to have teamwork now with the way that they have nerfed this. Now, when it comes to the actual barrier hive in this, I highly suggest setting up in this house. And if you're wondering why, it's because from in this house you can actually shoot the hive out the windows with your turrets. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting my sentry gun in the corner where it can cover the most space, of course. I myself, for some reason, I am not really sure why, but I put my grenade turret on the ledge outside instead of inside, which was, once again, not a strategic placement. If you're going to do this, I would put your grenade turret inside and make it where you can look out the window like my teammate is over there. And then here we are, all just unloading our grenade turrets at this barrier hive. Now, I just want to say, whenever you are doing this, make sure you are shooting the very large jiggly part of the grenade turret, of the barrier hive with your grenade turret. Now, see right there, I had to move because I was getting hit in the side. I didn't have anybody covering me because I was a dummy and set my turret up out there. I still questioning why I actually did. But once you get enough people just kind of unloading their turrets into the hive, once again it goes down very, very quickly. Not as quickly, I don't think, as it used to, and also not as quickly as the portable minigun turret, just the normal straight up portable minigun turret. Other than that though, yeah, you can see my ally right there, Shippy. He is shooting his grenade turret right out the window. And that, I think, is probably one of the best placements. And then there's the windows in that back corner where the chopper, contribute to chopper thing is. And those are the best two places to put your sentry guns. That way, well, this doesn't happen because I'm out there trying to use my grenade turret, and then I just get cornered by hunters, and I went down now for the second time. So this is pretty much an example of what you do not need to do if you're going to do this part of the grenade turret only challenge. Now I am going to throw in a little side note here that once you do upgrade your turret all the way to where it shoots incendiary rockets, it does not have any grenade drop like it used to. Like in the previous 3 levels of the grenade turret, it has a drop on it just like any normal grenade launcher would, but once you actually do upgrade it, there's no grenade drop. You pretty much have to line it up just right between that level spot on the crosshairs in the middle and the top, and just attempt if you can to aim with that. It gets pretty difficult because, like I said, it just, oh, here we go. Yeah, here's me being smarter, I think, and actually if you were getting where I can shoot out the window now that the hive is almost dead. That's so logical of me. But basically, yeah, once you actually get the turret itself upgraded with 2 incendiary rockets, you no longer have to worry about the drop of the grenade because it goes perfectly straight. Now in this part, whenever I have my grenade turret set up behind me, I have a sentry gun like directly behind me, so I don't have anything going to hit me in the back. I also have a sentry gun to my left, so I can slightly protect it. And as you can see, the impact damage from the incendiary rocket actually does quite a bit of damage. So I mean, if something is close enough to where it won't blow up, but you can still hit it directly with your grenade or the rocket, depending on what level your turret is at, it can still kill them. It's not as effective as the explosion itself, but it will still die fairly easy and will still set them on fire. And of course, here as a tip, if you ever just don't want to carry your turret to the next place, which a lot of times I'm just too lazy to carry my turret and my IMS to the next place, I will just sit there and fire out everything and just let it go out. Because like I said, grenade turrets are cheap. They are the cheapest thing ever, which is the one reason they're still good, is because they're only $1,000 and you will make your money back pretty much on any map when you use them. Now once again, here we are completely utilizing these corners to our advantage the best we can. I have 2 sentry guns in this corner. There's a sentry gun in that corner over there that can cover my back, and then my ally is in that corner where I can cover his back. So really, we have, oh, and there's even the ally in the other corner where we can literally cover each other's backs. Now I don't know who in the world that is running around out there, but they obviously weren't. We're not sticking to our original strategy. I think they were trying to run things through the fire trap. Yeah, they were, to get the challenge. But that being said, using these corners to your advantage like this is your pretty much your bread and butter whenever it comes to using these turrets. I mean, using any turret, I mean, the corners are what you want to use. Now, this hive was a little more complicated for us because there's not exactly a good corner that you can go in. So we did the best that we could, and we set up on this ledge up here. I have my sentry gun in front of me where I'm basically using it as bait. So anything like right there attacking my sentry gun, I will just unload on. Now the thing I did here was I made the mistake of putting my sentry gun a little bit too close. And so when things do get on, see, I end up moving back here a little bit. But so when things do get on it, I was not able to actually shoot it except for a direct impact hit. But once again, the direct impact hits of these turrets are actually, I think, were increased because of the nerf that, you know, they don't blow up when they're near as close to you anymore. Now, as you can see, I ended up having to reposition where I was because it seemed like, you know, everything coming at me was either coming from behind me or would just come in front of me and get so close to where I couldn't even, you know, use or shoot my turret effectively. Now, once again, things started coming the other way again from behind me, so I was just, I don't know, that hive throws me off every time because there's no corner spot to just kind of hold out and just, you know, there's not one direction that they come from. There are many, many, many different directions that they end up coming from. So a lot of times you'll find yourself even just jumping off your turret and unloading a couple clips of your pistol if you're running the pistol only relic like we are here, and you know you're gonna find yourself repositioning a lot. That's just kind of now one of the downfalls of having this turret is you are going to have to reposition yourself. You are going to have to get off the turret and shoot things hitting you in the back. That's just going to be the way it is, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because these turrets can still be useful and they're still very, very powerful. And now here you are seeing one of the major downfalls of the grenade turret is that its explosions do not count towards accuracy challenges, which is why you see me scrambling around up here attempting to hit these guys with bullets. And I, of course, get obliterated, but hey, at least I was trying, right? But yeah, I don't really understand this part because it would seem like if you hit them, you know, within the explosive radius, it should count towards an accuracy challenge, but it does not. And the thing that I don't understand is that the MK32, the grenade launcher that costs 2,000, which is double the grenade turret cost, it does. So I don't understand why that explosive is any different than the explosive of this turret. So to me, it doesn't make much sense, but I guess it's just part of what, I guess, what is it, Raven, that actually did this. I don't think Infinity Ward did the entire Alien thing. I think it was their the smaller companies that they co-directed this with. Now in this final hive, you can see that we have our, you know, our actual sentry gun set up in the water and having that electric trap on because that is one of the easiest baits you can use. Those guys love to run after those sentry guns and attempt to get on them. And when they do, they just run straight into that water. So we have sentry guns pointing pretty much every which way. We have my grenade turret in this corner. And Lambda's grenade turret over there to the left. The Angry Amigo, I'm not really sure what he's doing. And then we have Shibby's turret over there to the right. Now, we did this because in this kind of circular way, we can all cover each other. If something gets close to either one of us, we can shoot pretty much anyone. I mean, I can aim at both Lambda and him from where I'm actually at. Is he like right there? We're just, you know, using him as a distraction almost, as mean as that may sound, but it's what you do now. You have to cover your teammates when you're on these turrets, especially when everybody is using them kind of like this. Now, I had to end up repositioning myself because those, oh, whatever you call them, those scorpions, yeah, scorpions. Scorpions on the ledge that come on that left side were completely destroying us. So I tried to come up here and get on my turret where I could, you know, once again, I can still cover everybody else from up here. But the problem with being up here is nobody can really cover me. And that was kind of the issue I had when I did come up here. But like I said, I can cover them, and those sentry guns do a decent job of covering me. There are times when I'm going to get hit in the back and I'm just going to have to jump off, turn around, and actually shoot the guys. But I mean, and see, like right there, the direct impact damage did set that guy on fire. So I mean, you really just have to adapt to the situations that you're in. There's no set in stone way of place of where you need your turrets. You just have to kind of adapt to what's kind of hurting you. And in this case, it was those scorpions on that ledge, so I got to where I could, you know, shoot as many of them as I plausibly could. And then once you get past that hive, of course, you have to prepare for your entire run back. And to do that, well, I decided to place my sentry guns right here, because I know that there are rhinos that are going to spawn, and you know that there are at least 2. And sometimes even 2 more will come, depending on how long it takes you to actually get to the first meteor that comes down and blocks your path. So I like to put my sentry guns there, and then what I did was I put my grenade turret behind both sentry guns with the hope that the rhinos would get distracted by the sentry guns, which they do a lot of times. And while they were just sitting there hitting my sentry guns would be sitting there hitting them, and I would be behind the sentry guns on my turret pounding the rhino. And now here we're starting our run back, of course, and I just missed my hypno knife there, which was rather embarrassing. But then I turned around and I was just like, you know what, I want one of these rhinos. So I hypno him, and then he disappeared. But whenever you do that, just as a side note, they do end up just spawning somewhere else for you. They don't just disappear on you like that. They'll just, for some reason, it makes them randomly come out of the ground somewhere else, which in this case was way back here at the actual first meteor. Now, there I did not get on my turret to actually fight those rhinos, but somebody else actually got on my turret, so that was kind of why I didn't. I was just sitting there unloading with those dual pistols. And you know what? I was just like, don't want to set the sentry gun up. And I was just like, no, because you know we can still go ahead and go. And I got Mr. Rhino Buddy. But then I know here 2 more rhinos spawn. So what do? I set up my sentry gun and I try to be the distraction for my sentry guns. Now, of course, whenever you get to this point, this is, in my opinion, one of the funnest parts of this entire thing, to be honest, because I just love holding out here for as long as we can until the timer starts to run out, or we start to run out of life, one or the other. But
oh crap! Come on.
I don't know. This to me, this part is so much fun. I enjoy just, you know, sitting and kind of holding out. Now, I had left my grenade turret back at the other meteor spots, but see right there, my rhino is still alive. Well, until he just died right there. But I mean, that is pretty much the best way that I can think of to still use this grenade turret effectively. Is you have to coordinate with your teammates, and you have to set up a strategy. You have to be able to cover each other. You have to be able to reposition your turret whenever you have the moment of notice that you know you're gonna need to. And last but not least, you're gonna have to just get off of it, turn around, and shoot people with it, or with your actual gun every once in a while. That's the way it is. The grenade turret nerf was pretty bad, because now you can't kill what's behind you, but you know, all you gotta do is adapt to it a little bit, and these grenade turrets can still be extremely effective because they're still extremely cheap. Anyways, guys, this is Life on End here. This is me busting another myth that the grenade turret is useless now, and I am out.